1023 ESPN. We have a very special guest with us here today, Al Guapo, Bas Rutten. How are you doing today?
We're doing awesome. Oh my God! Did you hear what I said? We're. It's like El Guapo and Bas. Now I'm speaking in the third person. We're doing good.
Al Guapo, I've been following you personally for a long time. You're one of the pioneers here in mixed martial arts, and it's an honor to actually have you here on our show. You're also in a movie, Here Comes the Boom. Can you tell us a little bit about the experience of being in that movie there with Kevin James?
You know, I know Kevin for a long time. We go back 15 years, and it's always been in his mind. And Kevin has been a great athlete. The first day when I was training him, when I came back, I told my wife, I said, wow, this guy picks up fast. I would show him something, and he would do it. So, he's got good motoric skills. And for this movie, well, he took it to the heart, my friend. He lost like 70, 75 pounds. He trained 2-3 times a day with the pros. Started out 14 months before the movie because the UFC give the blessing, their blessing, and they said, you can't make a mockery out of this, man. You got to make it look real. It's not like any schlop can come in and do it. And that's what they did with a great story. It's very well written how everything is going to happen in the movie. And, well, the results, I think it's a great result. I think this is going to do a lot of good for the mixed martial arts world, because people who are not interested in mixed martial arts, they see this, and I've already had 2 women coming to me. They said, wow, I always thought this was so violent, and now we see, these guys are just normal guys. I said, that's exactly the message we're trying to send across. So hopefully they know now.
I agree with you, Bas. I think it's very good for the industry as a whole to get the people that are not familiar with mixed martial arts, to get them familiar. Because, it's not a bunch of barbarians out there, fighting. The majority of the fighters are college educated. They've been in the military. They've got really good backgrounds, that they bring to the table, so to speak. And so, I just think it's fantastic that you're even a part of it, because, again, you were one of the pioneers to really bring MMA mainstream, again, back from the Pancration days, when you fought, who's the brother that you fought there, Frank Shamrock. That was one of my favorite all-time fights that you had, Bas Rutten. So, Bas, wow, I also went on Facebook and I asked a few of our fans what questions that they would have for you. Well, one of them wants to know what type of music you listen to.
I listen to everything. I had a guy one time coming in, and he said, can I take a look at your music collection? I said, sure. He says, because you can tell a person, he said, by the music. And he looked at me, and then he had this weird look. I said, what? He says, you're a total psycho. I go, I have rap, I have opera, I have classical, I have everything. And, and I enjoy every music. I don't like music that, I take that back. I don't like the screaming, that music that you can't understand. That's not my music. That
drives us nuts too. That the thrash style of music I don't think it's music at all.
No, it's not. Yeah, you're right.
And there's a couple other questions that they actually had. And, now I know the answer to this question, but so let me ask you, how long have you actually been in martial arts? And what got you into the martial arts?
Bruce Lee got me into martial arts, and it was all the way back in 76. And I was in France, and I saw Enter the Dragon. We sneaked in, me and my brother, illegally, because it was 17 years and older there. And I used to be a kid that got bullied a lot. I had a horrible skin disease in my face, my hands everywhere. I had to wear gloves, so kids didn't like me. And when I saw that movie, I go, oh, my God, I thought that's the answer. If I'm like that guy, well, nobody will mess with me anymore. And that's where I started asking my parents to get, please let me do Taekwondo at the time. And they didn't. For 2 years, they were holding back. Finally, they succumbed to my questions, and they allowed me to do it. But, it started going so well for me. Like within 2-3 months, I was beating up the brown belts there. And I got in a street fight with the biggest bully in town. And this time, I said something back, and I heard them laughing. They were on a bike. I was on the bike. And they came to me. They started following me. So I just stopped, put my bike on the stand, and I thought, I'm not going to run anymore. Now I'm going to go. And I knocked him out. One shot. Boom. And I broke his nose in the process. So that meant that the police showed up, and then my parents pulled me off right away. So then I started again training at 21. So pretty late, 21, and at 28 I started doing mixed martial arts.
And when did you actually get your first world title?
That's like 2 years into Pancras or something. I think 95.
In 95, huh?
I was already beating everybody, and I go, hey, and that's when I first realized, if you're vocal, because they didn't give me, for some reason, they didn't want to give me a title shot, and then I started getting vocal about it in interviews. I thought, okay, if I don't get attention, I take attention like this. And what do you know, it worked. So I had my first title shot, and then, I never lost anymore. After my last loss against Ken, that really made me angry, and I had nobody to train with in Holland. So I found this one guy, 19 years old, Leon Van Dijk, and we started just watching tapes and trying it out on each other and making it better. That's what we were doing 2-3 times a day, and it paid off, man. I won my next 8 fights by submission.
Beautiful. And let me also ask you this. What's the difference between kickboxing in Holland versus kickboxing anywhere else around the world?
Kickboxing in Holland is just, it's almost like soccer. You have fights every week, every weekend, and the clubs are just packed there with Thai boxers. For some reason, they really enjoy their striking there. When they have events, they have events for 10, 12,000 people. It's sold out. People love their striking. Yep.
Uh-huh. Well, Bas, I'll tell you, that pretty much concludes the question that I have for you. I personally could stay on the phone with you all day long, but as you know, they've only given us 10 minutes with you. So thank you so much, Bas. We're looking forward to the movie. We've actually we've actually seen it last week. We've invited over 60 people that are actually going to be seeing it again today for another special screening here in Denver. So we're real excited to be a part of it. We're real excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you.